Hello friends, and a very happy bank holiday weekend to you. It's Easter Sunday today, and it is gloriously sunny. Very hot, particularly for the time of year. And I'm back. It's been a few weeks. I actually hurt my back a few weeks ago. I think 2 weekends back. Just overdoing it really. Too much weeding, too much digging. So I decided to take it easier a little bit. I'm still coming down here pretty much every day to keep things ticking over, but not been quite so strenuous the last few weeks, and hence why I've not really got round to making any more little update videos, I suppose. So I decided to make up for it. I would do a complete spring allotment tour, and I'm going to show you my whole plot in as much detail as you can stand. Okay, here we go. Two years ago, when I acquired this plot, that was in August 2017, all of this and those two bookcase beds just there, and my bottle beds and my potato tower, and of course my shed wasn't there at all. This bit was completely overgrown with bindweed and blackberries from the other side of the fence there, and from the orchard, that's the communal orchard, to the allotment plots, just behind where my plot is. And of course overshadowed by this enormous tree. It's got to be about 30-40 feet tall. Amazing thing. But gradually I've begun cutting back a lot of this, cultivating it. Those two beds there were built out of old IKEA bookcases. Nothing fancy, just shoved them in the ground like that. Made them into raised beds. This more recently is where I'm just starting to grow my three sisters, and I'll talk about that a little bit more slightly later. But it's nice to just stand in this corner and reflect on how much I've done in the past year and 2/3. It makes me feel good. This is my purple sprouting broccoli, which, as you'll be able to see if I can get out of my own shadow here, is ready for harvesting. And I have taken a few portions from it over the last week or so. Just snap them off at the ends there, stir fry them with a bit of rice, maybe put them in spaghetti, something like that. Always gorgeous. And I'm pleased with how prolific these plants have been. This is from only, I think, 2 or 3 seeds planted at the back end of last year. And look at all this. Probably a good, 5 portions, 6 portions of delicious broccoli. Just out of that little space there. That's nice. Just next to the purple broccoli here, I've got some ordinary broccoli seedlings that I've just started to come up in the past few weeks. In between that I've planted some spinach, and then here is some cauliflower seedlings which are coming up just a little bit slower. You can see one just there, and then some more broccoli at the end just there. I really like broccoli, so I'm going to grow as much of it as I possibly can. I don't think, unfortunately, that I'm going to get time to use this raised bed this year, so I've just started to throw a lot of my compost and other stuff into there for now. Get it all rotting down, and then next year I'll have a nice, good, nutritious space to grow something else, but just haven't got round to it yet this season. Never mind. plenty more going on. Here's my horseradish plant. There it is. Another thing I really want to do is, as well as growing strawberries over in this patch here, and get a lot more compost and prepare this area of this bed to grow something edible, although I'm not quite sure what yet. It is still quite overgrown, look at all that. There's some more vines there, bindweed. And mare's tail is popping up absolutely everywhere, as you can see. Among the strawberries, some cardboard I put down here, it just pokes straight through those. It's a prolific little bastard. But you know, it has its place, so I'm pulling it out when it is really getting in the way, but anywhere else, I think I'll just leave it to its own devices. I think, but I'm not sure, that is one of the seedlings for the 2 Jerusalem artichokes I planted. One was just there, and one just over here, which doesn't seem to have come up yet. I'm not sure, it might just be a weed, but I'm going to keep an eye on that for the next week or so and see if that is in fact what it is. Peas on earth. So I've been staggering out the planting of my peas a little bit. These are the ones I planted first, sowed rather, straight into the soil in sort of February, early March, and then middle of March, and then more recently beginning of April, and finally just some over there at the end. So getting a nice spacing of peas, all coming along very nicely. No complaints there. I'm quite pleased with this area of the inedible bed just here. I've got my thyme, I've got my lavender, lamium, storksbill. Storksbill grows all over the place. Apparently it's a weed, but too attractive in my opinion not to keep at least a little bit of. One of my shrubs there, and then my comfrey and some sage over there. And I'm just building this little rock border path, decorative piece, sort of marking out the spaces between the plants. I think it looks quite attractive. Anytime I find a rock or a stone that looks nice, I just add it to that line, leading towards the roses and the garlic over here. Just a nice little patch to look at. So I'm feeling pretty pleased with that. That's kale, that's a red cabbage, and so is that one. Another few kale over there. And I have sown a few directly into the soil just here, but that was only within the last week, so no sign of those yet. And that's my marjoram in the middle there, warding off pests. Apparently good for keeping things off cabbages, also I've read. So we'll see about that. Spinach is doing well. Getting some baby leaves on there now. That's nice to see. Always a couple of rogue sycamores though. You've got to be careful with these, they pop up everywhere. Sometimes they look like there might be something else, but they're not. They want to become a sycamore tree. So in the compost with you. What else? That's my potato tower, but no sign of any leaves yet. Never mind, there's still time. And likewise with sweet corn. This is my three sisters' bed, but no sisters yet visible. The idea is to have sweet corn in the middle there, growing in kind of a circle from that mound, and then beans that climb up the sweet corn as they grow. Sweet corn providing the support, and then round the edge here some squash. I'm not so sure about the sweet corn seed that I planted, or maybe it's just the compost that I planted them in, but I don't know. I'm not feeling very confident about those coming up, but we'll see. Anyway, if things don't work out with sweet corn, for whatever reason, I have started off some borlotti beans just in these pots here. I'm still going to grow some beans and probably some squash here as well if the sweet corn, even if the sweet corn doesn't come up. That's fine. Or maybe I'm just being impatient, I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, I think that's more or less it. I've gone through everything in my usual scrappy fashion. Shown you more or less everything that's going on in my allotment. And this beautiful April bank holiday. I think I'll just take another walk around now and show you some things, maybe pick up on anything I missed. Here we go. That's my photinia, red robin or Christmas berry as it's known. One of my favourites actually, and I'm going to propagate some of these in the autumn, take some cuttings, grow some new ones. Forget-me-nots, beautiful colours on those. Doesn't seem to show up as much on camera, but the vibrancy of that blue, something very special. Nasturtiums, dandelions. You don't have to pull all the dandelions up, they're good for the bees. They're not weeds really, they're just flowers, very common flowers, and there's nothing wrong with that. My shrubs, garlic, a few cuttings I've taken of the ajuga, I think that's what it's called, ajuga, from over here. Well, it's flowering magnificently now, so I've taken one cutting and put it just there, and another one here which may or may not be taking, I don't know. We'll see. I just like it because it spreads pretty quickly and it makes nice ground cover. Oh, that's interesting. I think that there is rhubarb, and I thought I'd got rid of all that. You see, I don't really like rhubarb at all, and there was a huge rhubarb plant growing just here last year that I thought I'd pulled out all of, but it's back. That's going to have to go. Purple dead nettle, black spider plant thing I still haven't found the name of yet. And I showed you all this earlier, my comfrey, my lavender, etc. And my roses. And there's two there that have done very well since I transplanted them from over there. These two less so. Possibly because they're just not getting as much sun, or I don't know. Sage, sage everywhere. Onions. Marigolds. Onions, onions, onions. Enemies. Grape hyacinth. I think this is a raspberry bush, but it may be a blackberry bush. I don't really know, but I'm looking forward to finding out. Lavender, various wildflowers. my mint collection and my vines. Chocolate mint, spearmint, apple mint, sunflowers. There's one, there's another, and there's another. Dragon's blood. More strawberries. These are some raspberry cuttings that I've taken. Seems to be doing okay, that one less so, but you know what. Blackcurrants, I've put all of the cuttings in the ground now. Some of those were in pots, but they started to wilt a little bit compared to the ones that I put straight into the ground, so I've put them all in the ground. I think that's everything. Hope you enjoyed this video. Longer than usual, just making up for lost time a little bit. So, don't forget to like and subscribe, share, all that stuff. It's much appreciated. Gives me that little dopamine kick that we all crave. Peace and love. Be happy and make others around you happy. Think before you speak. Find peace, wherever it may be.